Hi everyone, today I'm going to build a React app that works with geolocation data. I'll use Navigator geolocation JavaScript object to retrieve the user's coordinates and will create a custom React hook to work with geolocation data. Let's take a look at the design. As you can see, we'll have header and the coordinate data with values of latitude and longitude. And now I can refresh the page, and as you can see, we have our coordinates from Navigator geolocation object, and also I can disable location in browser's settings. And now I can reload the page, and we have error that user denied geolocation. And now I'm going to enable my location and reload the page, and we have our coordinates. Let's go to the code and build our application. I launched my Visual Studio Code and have a project that I built in previous video. You can watch it, and so I'm going to open it in terminal and run my dev server with command npm run dev and to open it in the browser. And we have some hello world, but I'm going to change it, and let's change title to weather app. I'm going to use geolocation data inside bigger weather app, and let me close all the styles. And now we can create custom hook to retrieve the geolocation data. And I need some folder for hooks. And inside this folder, I'll create use geolocation JavaScript. Okay, and now I can create function use geolocation. It will be arrow function, or just let's create just function, and I can export it as default. And inside function, I'm going to use state hook and use effect hook. Our use geolocation will be custom hook. Use state. As you can see, import was added, and I need some state for loading to check if the data was loaded or not. Loading, and the function to change the state will be set loading, and initial value will be true. And also I'm going to add more states for error, and set error, and initial value will be just let it be some null. And now we can add state to our geolocation data. Will be data and set data, and initial state will be empty object. And now I can add use effect hook. As you can see, import was added, and I need to provide function to retrieve geolocation data, and I'm going to call it only component was mounted. It will be called initially one time, and let's implement the function, and I'm going to use Navigator global JavaScript object, and inside this object we have another option, another object, geolocation, and in geolocation we have function get current position, and it will allow us to retrieve the coordinates, and as you can see, we need to provide success callback and error callback. We can provide some options, but I will not work with options here. So, and let's create some success callback and on error callback, and we'll create these functions, and first function will be on success, and get current position will call this function when we retrieved the coordinates, and we'll have some event inside. And I'm going to set loading to false because data was loaded, and set error to null because we don't have any error. And now we can set data to our event, and it will have coordinates inside it. And now we need to add code to the second callback on error, and also I'll have event inside, and I'll set error to this event. I'll pass this error into my component, and also we can set loading to false. Okay, we have our hook, and now we can go to app.jsx, and let's create some new component. I'm going to create folder components for my components, and inside folder we'll create weather.jsx file for my components, and now I can export default and create weather component, and I need function. Okay, and I need to fix it. Export default function will be weather, and now I can import my hook, custom hook, use geolocation, and as you can see, import was added, and now I can use my hook, use geolocation. I'll not have any params to pass, and I can get my data, and inside hook, use geolocation. We need to return data to retrieve it inside our component. I forget to return, and let's return loading, and also error and data. Okay, and now we can retrieve this data using object destructuring. We passed the data as object, and it will be loading error data. And data we can rename and use geodata. Okay, and let's build our JSX. We can check if we have loading, then we can return some notification about that data is loading. I'm going to add paragraph and add text loading. And let's add some classes. Class name, we added Tailwind, and we can use Tailwind classes, and I'm going to make text blue and make it 500, and also you can add these classes to change the font and make font semi-bold. Okay, and now I can change it to false to see this message and go to my weather, and inside app.jsx we need to import our weather component and provide it to our app component. Okay, and let's check again. I'm going to refresh it. Okay, and I need to leave it true, but I'm going to comment out these lines, and we'll have a loading component, and let's check again. And we have our loading text, and now I'm going to return my code. It was just check, and inside weather component, I'm going to copy this loading and provide error. Check if we have error, then we can provide error message. Error, and provide message from our error will be message, error message. Okay, and let's check what we have now. I'm going to refresh and deny geolocation and reload. And we have other denied user location, but we can change text to red because we have error. Okay, we have red text, and now I'm going to allow user location, reload, and we don't have any HTML JSX for now, and let's implement the JSX for our success case. And I'm going to return and create some div, and it will be container, and let's create some class name and add gradient, background, gradient, to and to bottom, and it will be from blue and some blue and to indigo 600. Okay, and let's add some h2 tag and provide text your coordinates. And let's check what we have. Okay, we have our background and your coordinates. Okay, let me hide this panel, and we can change the font for our h2 tag. I'm going to use class name, add class name and text, and make it to XL, and make it font bold, and also make it gray, and some value. And let's add some margin bottom bold. Okay, and let's check what we have. And we have bigger text, and we can add some shadows and basings margins from top, and I'm going to add it here. Let's make shadow, and also make some rounded div, and probably let's increase the text. Okay, and we need to add some paddings 6, and let's add margin top 10. Okay, we have our paddings, margins, and now we can provide coordinates. I'm going to add paragraph. Inside paragraph will be pen, and provide my latitude. And I'm going to use geodata from my use geolocation hook, and we'll have latitude inside it. And the same paragraph I need from longitude. And use data, my geodata. Okay, and let's check what we have. And we have our coordinates, and I'm going to add styles to paragraph and make it text large, and add font, increase font, make font then bold, and probably make font text white 700. Okay, let's check. Now we don't have white font, and we need to add it here, text white. And let's check again. Okay, we have our white font, and I can read it from here. Okay, and here I can also make add class semi-bold. Let's check what I have. Okay, and here I can increase font size, add the same class name. Okay, it's looking good so far, and let's do the final testing. I'm going to refresh the page, and also we can check the CSS styles that we applied with Tailwind, and we can check the actual size or some probably colors. And I'm going to close it now, and let me deny my location and reload the page, and we see error, user denied geolocation. Now I'm going to enable it, close and reload, and we have coordinates. And that's all that I had for today. If you like the video, subscribe to my DevWeb App channel, like the video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.